We're starting with lesson 4.1 today in our Go Math book. We're on page 173, and our lesson today is about breaking apart ones to add. The essential question is, how does breaking apart a number make it easier to add? It tells you to use tens and ones blocks, and you may not have those at home. I'm going to illustrate with those, but I'm also going to do a quick picture, so that's what I'm going to have you do on your page as well. Griffin read 27 books about animals and 6 books about space. How many books did he read? So I'm going to make my 27 here with my tens and ones blocks. And give me a minute to get these organized so we can see that we have 7. There's my 27. And then he also read 6 books about space. So I'm going to put those over here. There's my 6. So I'm going to come down here to the bottom of the page and do that illustrating. So I've got 2 tens for my 27 and 7 ones. There's my 7, and I've got 6 over here. So if we want to find out how many we have, we're going to break apart this 6. So that we can make this into a 10. We have 7. How many more do we need to be able to make a 10? Well, if I take 1 and put it over there, that would make 8. If I take another one, that would make 9. If I take 1 more, that makes 10. So I took 3 from here and put it over here, and I have 3 left. So down here on the bottom, I'm going to circle 3 because I need those. I'm going to put them over here. I'm going to draw them. 1, 2, 3. So now I've made a 10, and I took some of those to make my 10. So now I have 1, 2, 3 tens, and then I have 3 ones left over. So our number is 33. 27 plus 6 is 33. Okay, I'm going to clean these off, and we're going to go to the next page, 174. We're going to the top where it says Model and Draw. It tells us to break apart ones to make a 10. Use this as a way to add. So 27 plus 8 equals something. We have a question mark here. So here's our 27, and here is our 8. If we have 7 ones, we need 3 more to get to a 10. So we're going to break apart that 8, and we're going to use 3 of them to make this into a 10. They're showing us how they do it over here. Here's our 27 plus 8. They break the 8 apart into a 3 and a 5. We don't have that 8 anymore when we do that. We have 3 plus 5. Because we need a 3 to turn that 7 into a 10. We want to go to the next 10. We've already got 2 tens. This will take us up to the next 10, which is 30. So 27 plus 3 is 30. Plus 5 that we had left over is 35. So 27 plus 8 is 35. On the bottom here, it says draw quick pictures. Break apart ones to make a 10, then add and write the sum. So we start with 15, and here's our 1 10 and our 5 ones, plus 7. So we've got 7 over here. We know that if we have 5 ones, we need 5 more ones to be able to make a 10. So we take the 5 that we had, we break apart that 7, put the 5 with it, so now we have 1 10, 2 tens, and 2 ones left over. So the answer is 22. 26 plus 5, we're going to make a quick picture of 26. So 2 tens, and we've got 5 ones. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 tens and 6 ones, so we need to do that. And then we're going to add 5 ones. Now, if I break apart this 5, how much do I need to put with that 6 to get to the next 10? 6 plus what makes 10? I need 4 more. So out of the 5, I've used 4, that leaves 1, and I don't have that 5 anymore. So I'm going to break apart this 5 right here, and I'm going to take 4 of these and put it with the 6 over there. So now I have 1, 2, 3 10s, and I've got 1 1 left over. So the answer is 31. 37 plus 8. I'm going to make my 37 and I'm going to make my 8. I'm going to leave a little space so they're not together. So I have 7 here. I have a 7. How many do I need from that 8 to get to a 10? If I have 7, I need to have 3 more. So I'm going to break that 8 apart because I'm going to use 3. And if I have 8 and I use 3, how many are left over? It would be 5 left over. And I don't have that 8 anymore because I'm breaking it apart. So I'm going to break apart this 8 over here, and I'm going to use 3 of them to go with my 7. Right here I'm going to use 3 to go with the 37. And now instead of 37, I am going to be at the next 10. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 10s. 4 10s is 40. And then I have 5 circles left over, and I have the number 5 left over. So 40 plus 5 is 45. And the last one is 28 plus 6. So I'm going to make the 28. And I'm going to make the 6. I'm going to leave a little space and move it over. All right, so I'm going to break apart that 6. How much of this 6 do I need to make that 8 a 10? So I can go to the next 10. If I have 8, I need 2 more. And if I use 2 from the 6, I have 4 left over. And I don't have 6 anymore. So I'm going to put the 2 with the 28, and that will take us to the next 10. That will take us to 30. I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to use my 8, and I'm going to use 2 of these to make a 10. So now I have 10, 20, 30. And then I have 4 left over in my numbers and in my quick picture. So 30 plus 4 is 34. Let's go to the next page. And on this page, they're not giving us a lot of room to work. We are not doing quick pictures here. We are going to just break apart the ones to make a 10. Then we're going to add and write the sum. We're going to do some of these together. This is a new concept for you. So we'll do some of these together, and then I'll have you finish them up on your own. So 23 plus 9, we have a 3 in our ones place. We're going to break apart that 9. How much do we need to take that 3 to a 10? So we'll go to the next 10. 3 plus what? We need 7. And how much would be left over from that 9? It would be 2, because 7 plus 2 is 9. We don't have 9 anymore. We have 7 and 2. So we're going to put the 23 and the 7 together. We're going to go to the next 10. The next 10 would be 30. And 30 plus 2 is 32. 48 plus 5, we're going to break apart this 5. So how much do we need from this 5 to take that 8 to the next 10? We need 2. What's left over from that 5? If we use 2, it's 3, because 2 plus 3 is 5. I'm going to cross out that 5. And we're going to put the 48 and the 2 together and go to the next 10. The next 10 would be 50. And 50 plus the 3 that's left over would be 53. We have 18 plus 5. We're going to break apart this 5. So how much do we need to take that 8 to the next 10? We just did that, didn't we? We had an 8 there. We had a 5 to break apart. So we know that we need 2. And that we have 3 left over. I'm going to cross out that 5. So we're going to put the 18 and the 2 together. That will take us to the next 10. We had 1 10, so now we're going to go to 2 10s, to 20. And 20 plus the 3 that's left over is 23. 33 plus 9, we're going to break apart this 9. And how much do we need to take that 3 to the next 10? Well, we just did that one up here, didn't we? We know that we need 7. And what do we have left over from that 9 if we use 7? We have 2, because 7 plus 2 is 9. I'm going to cross out that 9. And we're going to add together the 33 and the 7. It takes us to the next 10. So it will take us to 40. And 40 plus the 2 that's left over is 42. Number 9, 27 plus 6. We're going to break apart this 6. How much of this do we need to take that 7 to the next 10? What do you add to 7? You add 3. And if I use 3 from a 6, what do I have left over? I have 3. So I'm going to cross out that 6 and do 27 plus 3. I'm going to go to the next 10, so it will be 30. And 30 plus the 3 that's left over is 33. 49 plus 4. We're going to break apart this 4. So how much do I need from this 4 to take that 9 to the next 10? What do I add to 9? I need to add a 1. So 1 from the 4. If I use 1, what do I have left over? I have 3, because 1 plus 3 is 4. I'm going to cross out that 4. And I'm going to put together the 49 and the 1. 49 and 1 more is 50. And 50 plus 3 is 53. So I'm going to have you do the last 2 rows on your own. You are going to break apart the 8 and the 7 and the 8 and the 9. On the bottom, we're going to do this part together. It says write the missing digit. 49 plus 7 equals, they've given us part of the number, they've given us the ones number, but not the tens number. So we're going to do exactly what we did on the top. We're going to break apart this 7. How much of that 7 do we need to make that 9 into the next 10? We need 1. What would be left over? We would have 6, because 1 plus 6 equals 7. We don't have that 7 anymore, but we're going to add the 49 and the 1. 49 and 1 is 50, and there's the 6 that's left over. So there's our 6. So the digit that belongs here would be a 5 to make it be 56. Number 16, 35 plus something equals 44. You could use a hundreds chart for this. We could start at 35 and count up to 44. So here's our 35. We want to get to 44. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. It takes 9 to get to 44. Number 17, we don't know the whole number that we started with, but we're going to add 7, and our answer is 62. So I can look at my ones here, and I can see that we're going to add that 5 and that 7. The 5 and the 7 will give us 12. So there's my 2. The 2 goes there. And the 110 would be added to this to get the 6. So what do we add 1 to get 6 tens? We add a 110 to 5 tens to get to 6 tens. On number 18, we don't know the whole number that we started with. We know that we add 8 equals 35. So we start with 2 tens, but we end up with 3 tens. That tells me that the number that we add to the 8 will take us into a teens number. We'll have to get a 110 and 5 ones. That would be 15. So what do we add to 8 that would give us 15? 8 plus 7 would give us 15. So 27 plus 8 equals 35. On the bottom, we have our 2 numbers that we're adding, but we don't have the whole answer. We don't have the number in the ones place. So let's break apart this 9, just as we've done up here on the top. And we have 74. We want to take that 4 to the next 10. How much do we add to 4 to get to the next 10? We add 6. So what's left over from a 9? If we use 6, what's left over? We have 3. We don't have 9 anymore. So we are going to take this and put the 74 and the 6 together to go to the next 10, which would be 80. And there's our 8 tens. So what's left over? We have a 3 left over. And in the last one, we don't know all of the first number that we started with, but we know that we add 5 and we end up with 81. So this tells me that when I add this 6 and 5, I'm going to get 11, because 6 plus 5 is 11. And I end up with 8 tenths. So what did I start with here? Because I'm going to add that 110 to it. I started with 7 tenths. You can turn your paper over to the last page, and this is some problem solving. Megan has 38 animal pictures and 8 people pictures. How many pictures does she have? So we're going to write that number sentence over here. Megan has 38 animal pictures plus 8 people pictures. Okay, you need to break apart this 8, just like we've done on the page before, to see how much you need to take that to the next 10 and then add what is left over. Number 22, Bruce counts 25 trees at the park and 7 trees on the way home. How many trees does he count? So again, we're going to rewrite this number sentence. Bruce counts 25 trees at the park plus 7 trees on the way home. So break apart this 7. How much of this 7 do you need to take that 5 to the next 10 and then add in what you have left over? Jamal has a box with some toy cars in it. He puts 3 more toy cars into the box, and now there are 18 toy cars in the box. I'm sorry, now there are 22 toy cars in the box. How many toy cars were in the box before? So Jamal has a box with some toy cars in it. We don't know how many that is, so we're going to make a blank. He puts 3 more toy cars into the box, so we're going to add 3. And now there are 22 toy cars in the box. So what did he start with? How many toy cars were in the box before? You could use a hundreds chart for this. And you could start at 22 and count back 3 and see where he started. And number 24, Alicia puts 25 books on the shelf. Trenton puts 8 books on the shelf. How many books do they put on the shelf? So we can use this line to write on right here. 25 plus 8 equals, you're going to break apart this 8 to see how many you need to take that 5 to the next 10. And then what do you have left over? You need to add that in and find your answer over here. When you have completed all of those, you are done with your assignment.